Welcome to Fake Virtual Pop-Up. So I'm very excited because again we had a lot of things. So now I feel like the events start to be more smooth, more fast. So I'm super happy. So welcome. So F.A.K.E means fashion for animal kingdom and environment. So we're gonna showcase many different brands from all over the world today. We're gonna travel in Israel, then we're gonna come to Los Angeles. That's gonna be amazing. So yeah, we have beautiful brands, and right away after those innovative vegan and ethical fashion brand, we will have a powerful conversation with Carissa Kranz, the founder of Be Veg, and she's vegan from birth. Do you realize, like, that's the proof that we can be vegan and still be alive. So yeah, we're gonna talk about this. She's gonna for sure inspire you. And yeah, I want to thank really quick everybody that participate today. Actually, BVeg, Haptic Pass, Expression by UV, Jane and Shane, Los Angeles Animal Safe, to let us use their platform to cross post to share this event everywhere. So yeah, I think we're gonna start just really quick. We are still trying to figure out how to be able to read all the comments. So Susan is here with us. Hello. So if you leave comments, she will be here to let me know if there's any questions or anything. So yeah, feel free to let us know. If not, don't worry. After, I will check everything and answer one by one to every comment if you have any question about a brand or anything. So yeah, and also WhatsApp. Yeah, I always forget about this. Text us on WhatsApp +1 424 488 44. Last day we give away $800 that you can spend with more than 30 part of F.A.K.E. So yeah, it's really crazy. Just text us, just say hello, and yeah, you will receive that. And yeah, I think we're gonna start. So we Varsha from India. So wait, I'm gonna add her right now. Hello,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm great. How about you?
Very good. So yeah, where in India exactly are you right now?
I'm located in Madhya.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna share your website and I let you introduce what you do, and yeah, we can start.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you about more about my journey here. So I'm a fashion designer, and I started UV Creations in 2015. So UV Creation is an delivers to personal styling. So there was a lot of production waste, and I love fabric, so I was not very happy with the production waste, and it goes in the landfill. So that's how I started studying sustainability, and that's how my brand Expressions by UV got its shape. So, what we do in Expressions, as the name suggests, Expressions is a story of Indian textile heritage and craft heritage, which we want to tell with our clothing. And also, like when I was doing my research in sustainability, I found that there are more sustainable brand, and people feel like they are very plain and they are very expensive. So we
Yeah.
thought, so we thought to combine the element of textile heritage and craft heritage with the modernity, and to come up with a brand which is affordable to the mass. So this is about our journey. I would like to explain a bit process with what we have. Our whole process is handmade, and we start right from the farmers who do our production of organic cotton. Then it is picked up by rural women who hand spin it. Then it goes to weavers who hand wove it, and then it comes to artisans who hand print it, right? So
Mm.
the whole process is handmade and natural, and we use plant-based and natural dyes. So this makes the whole garment very unique and very specific. So I just want to tell you few characteristic about this process, that the fabric has a amazing texture when it is hand woven and handcrafted. And the process is though too long. It takes almost 10 to 15 days to wove the cloth and everything, but you can't match that anywhere in a power loom. So that's one thing. Second thing, because we use natural dyes and the fabric is hand spin, it's very breathable, and it is very skin friendly. Also, it has healing properties. Like we have, her day. We treat it with her day eucalyptus, and also it also has its healing property.
Mm.
So expressions by UV is, basically a token to the world from India of a fusion of traditional art with the modernity, which take care of supply chain, where weavers and artisans are taken care as a stakeholder, and also take care of end consumer by providing affordable products. So how we do affordable products is, like, we have eliminated the middlemen. The whole
Exactly.
idea was, making the brand more available to the mass. And so we checked out the middlemen, and we directly take the fashion from artisan and weavers and make it available to the mass. So yeah, this
That's
is,
beautiful. Yeah, like
yeah.
you said, you cut out the middleman so people can go and support you directly. You're very transparent as well on all the production. That's why it's beautiful. And yeah, I think this brand is amazing. Everybody should go check it out. UV Creation. Let me add this up. Follow UV Creations right now. You're on
Yeah.
Facebook as well. Well, on Facebook it's
Yes.
the same UV Creation, right?
Yeah, that is also UV creation. Also, our brand is a zero waste, John, and it's like, what we do. We support college students, college girls who want to pursue their higher education. So they make handcrafted jewelry for us. So that's another thing, that our brand is a zero waste brand. And I have a little surprise. I wanted to know if, there are any comments and any viewers. You can, if you can pick up three viewers, we would like to give them free ship if they purchase around like $150, and that this offer will be for 1 month for them. Also, I have created a coupon code. So as you told me, like we discussed, that you cannot see each and every message. So if they are interested to buy our clothes, they can just message us by saying fake, or they can message you by saying fake, and you can forward it to us, and then we can send them coupon by mail.
Okay, so anybody that is listening right now should go on UV Creations, send your message. They can send fake, so you know that they come from fake, and you give them discounts, free shippings.
Yes, and that
Perfect. Thank you so
coupon
much.
will be available for 6 months. So
Okay.
yeah.
Also, we have time. So yeah, thank you so much. What you do is amazing. Everybody should go check it out. You don't need to. You can go directly to the source, and thanks to you. So I'm super happy to have you here. So yeah,
I'm
thank
also
you.
super excited, and thank you so much for creating this opportunity. It was lovely to be part of, like-minded community.
No problem. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, that was beautiful. You see, we just went to India, and now we're gonna travel all the way to Tel Aviv with Nina. Nina, and I'm sorry, I don't know your name. Oh wait, you still mute. If you just need to unmute your mic.
Right. Yep. Hi.
Yes.
So we're Nina and Eva.
Okay, Nina and Eva.
Yeah.
How are you?
Thank you. Good.
Yeah. What time is it right now in Tel Aviv? It's late, right?
Nine nine
Oh,
thirty p.m.
okay. Apparently, also in India, it was midnight, so she waits all the way till midnight to be a part of Fake. So again, I want to thank her for that. And yes, so I'm gonna navigate on your website. I let you explain your beautiful brand. So
Thank
wait,
you.
share screen. Okay.
Great. Um, so I will tell a bit about myself. My name is Nina Skibnevsky. I was born in Moscow, Russia, but actually my childhood I spent mostly at horse farm
Hmm.
near the Moscow, and I was surrounded by nature and all kind of animals, and I really was dreaming to be a designer, a fashion designer, but somehow I ended up in psychology university and where I study environmental psychology.
Hmm.
So my connection with nature and environment, it was from the beginning of my life and never stopped. That's why when I moved to Israel and finally at my 30s decided to bring my childhood dream truth and open a fashion brand. It was not just a fashion brand, it was not just for beauty, it was for balancing uh, our inner nature with nature, with all universe. And um, we just went to India right now. I actually spent many years there. Not, okay, many months, I would say, but like many times I have been to India, and it inspired me a lot. And not only India, like Asian cultures.
Hmm.
Um, and all of that melt together. My love to nature, my love to traveling, my love to yoga and dancing, and the clothing I make, it's first of all have to be comfortable, but have to be beautiful as well.
Hmm.
So it's not like a sport brand, not at all. It's stylish, but if you like to do yoga or contemporary dance or contact improvisation, you can go straight away. You don't need to change anything. You can do it whenever. Um, so this is the point. And I want to give a word to Eva.
Okay.
She will tell more.
Hi, yes. Um, yes, Nina mentioned about her traveling in India and all the inspiration she got from this beautiful country that sort of got really well together with the clothes that she styles together. So there are other things that we have in common in the Haptic Path team. We are all really ardent Ironman eco activists that we want to make the world a better place. Like I don't have to tell you about all the, you know, positive sides of the HEB materials like breathability, thermoregulating, you know, probably people who watch the F.A.K.E channel, amazing channel, you
Mhm.
know all about it, okay? But we really support the ideas of vegan clothing, sustainable fashion, like ethical production, something that is probably dear to hearts of many people. So
Hmm.
trying to change the world and to save the planet together. Another great thing about the brand is that we're really trying to get back to our customers and to try to make like it's not only about customer support but also about making people happy with personalized item. So once you buy something, we really try to make it as much personal as it can. So it will last long in your wardrobe and it will be your favorite item for a really long time.
Hmm. It's
I guess
beautiful. I love
yeah,
it.
a few words about the new collection from Nina, and then I will tell more about our discounts. So don't
Okay.
lose us.
Yeah, what happened last year? Me and my good friend, another designer, Daria Burov, developed a new collection. Less is more.
Hmm.
It's unisex collection. The main idea that between couple, you can switch the clothing because
Oh.
most of the items of Haptic Path are unisex, and this collection is capsule collection, so each item fits perfect with other items. But the thing that if you are a couple and you use together the items, one thing you can share the energy with each other, and another thing, you don't need to think if it will be nice or not. It will be nice. Like it's in harmony together.
This is the crowdfunding, right? What I'm
Right.
sharing right now. Yeah,
Right.
that's beautiful. I love this.
Right, yes, and we are launching the crowdfunding campaign. It's running actually right now. So, talking about the discounts. So, every person who is watching the stream now, if you go to our site and you share the crowdfunding campaign on your social media, any social media, just send us the screenshot that you shared the link. You can get in touch with us with an email through contact us form through social media, and you'll get a personalized 15% discount of any item of your choice.
Nice. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Okay, and one more treat from us, but that one will last only 24 hours. Anyone who subscribes to our newsletter will might be the lucky winner of a unique organic hemp t-shirt.
Can I participate?
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
I will,
And-
for sure. Right away after the event, I will. I love everything you do.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much. And I really love if people will enter our crowdfunding campaign, watch this amazing video, which you are sharing now, but without the sound. You will see me and you will hear the voice of Eva. It's a trick which we are sharing now with
And just with you.
everyone who is
Oh.
watching, but actually no one knows that it
So
will
wait, let me put the sound. So I don't know if you can hear the sound. So when you talk, it's Eva who is
Being
talking?
in touch with the body is about being present
That's
and
me
enjoying
talking.
each
Nina
breath.
presenting.
I believe that the natural,
Okay.
comfortable, and simple clothes I make can help build awareness. At the moment, I produce camp t-shirts because for me, it means balance.
Wow. It really looks like you talking. You're doing like this TikTok thing, you know, when you pretend you're talking, but she's talking.
right. We are
Okay.
together.
Okay,
Yes,
guys.
so thank you so much for being a part of F.A.K.E. Again, I'm sorry if there's comment. Since we cross-post everywhere, it's very difficult to check all the comments, but apparently Susie is sending everything. Yeah, so she's on it if you have any questions. So yeah, thank you again so much.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you
Bye.
for having
Bye.
us. Bye. Good luck.
Okay, and now we're gonna receive Carissa Kranz, the founder of BeVeg. It's the only certification for vegan brand that is made by an attorney. She will explain you way better than me, and she's as well vegan from birth. I really want to talk about this. I have many questions for her, so I'm gonna add her right now. Up, hello.
Hi, good to see you.
You too. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in Florida right now. I think I was in Los
Oh.
Angeles when I saw you last.
Yeah, I thought you were I thought you were living actually in Los Angeles.
Yeah, this whole COVID crisis has us in Florida. But
Oh.
yeah, so a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh no, it's a pleasure to have you. And yeah, I think since you're vegan from birth, I have my first question that come in mind, which is where do you get your protein?
That's a question I've had my whole life growing up. When the food
Yeah.
pyramid was always you need your meat and dairy, how do you get your protein? So I can say as a vegan, I've never been protein deficient. I think that most of our protein comes from whole food, plant-based sources. So whether that's nuts or greens or whatever is plant-based, the need for animal protein is more of a myth and marketing than it is truth, because I've never broken a bone in my body and I've never had to eat meat.
Nice, that's amazing. So just before we keep on this topic, I wasn't sure how to present you because you do so many things. You have a live going on as well on Jane and Shane, right? And on your channel, Loads That Matter. You vegan from birth, you create BeVeg, you're doing so many things. So yeah, maybe the best is you introduce yourself. I let you explain. Usually I say your vegan journey, but your vegan journey came from birth.
Yeah. So my name's Carissa Kranz. I'm the founder and CEO of B-Veg International, which is the leading vegan certification firm. We have global trademarks, and we actually have an exciting announcement. As of last week, we got to announce that we are the first vegan standard in the world and the only one in the world to have ISO 17065 accreditation, which means finally a vegan standard is recognized by the international community and the World Accreditation Forum. So that's a really big deal, because while there are other vegan marks out there and certification marks, we're the only one that has defined vegan where international standards recognize it, and we're the only certification body in the world that is vegan in scope to gain that kind of accreditation. So we're really excited about that.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm a lawyer, and I used my law degree to pursue my passion, which is veganism and sustainability and trying to bring more light and love to this world through compassionate solutions and choices. And for me, defining a vegan standard and keeping vegan claims accountable is through B-Veg is a way for me to merge my passion and my profession. So we certify brands, we certify fashion. So any brands that want to or are watching that want to certify, if they want to mention this show and F.A.K.E, what we can do is we can discount the audit. We're offering a discounted audit up until September, end of September. And so what else? I was vegan from birth. My mom raised me vegan in a time when veganism was an odd thing to be. And I'm excited that it's turning into a campaign across all platforms and industry sectors, whether it's fashion, food, cosmetics, makeup, textiles, furniture, businesses. Veganism is the future, and it's the way we should all be.
Exactly. That should be like something normal. Everybody should be vegan. The opposite should be weird.
Yes, everyone should be vegan.
Yeah. So actually, as you say, you were able to give a definition to veganism. So what will be your definition of veganism?
Well, so veganism is generally defined, and I think that there's a general consensus of what it is. But to have a vegan standard means it's a robust standard that is quite long, that has an entire scheme in place of what is to be expected to actually certify vegan. But generally speaking, I think anyone who's vegan wants a product that is without animal exploitation. But how you define that and what is practical and what can actually be verified depends on the tests and checks and balances that you put the product through. So there's the paperwork process, which is ingredient verification, supplier research, and then there's the on-site inspection. Then there's the lab testing and the technical analysis to make sure that the claims are accountable and consistent with the written claims. And then there's the actual certification, which is granted by companies that pass the entire process. There's also a certifications committee that is in place. So if there's a gray area or there's something that needs to be further escalated or further defined, all these things are taken into account. So the standard that is for veganism is something that the consumer can trust. The consumer can know it was verified. The consumer can trust that, this vegan claim was independently verified by an organization that is accredited, and that their accreditation standards have been also accredited by international standardization organizations, which means that B-Veg certified vegan products are following industry best practices. But overall speaking, what's a vegan definition? People define it differently. It's kind of like the Wild West. Some people say I'm vegan means I eat plant-based. Other people bring it to fashion. Other people bring it to their entire lifestyle. So anything that has a vegan claim, if it's a fashion product, I would say, well, that fashion product better not exploit animals. But there are people who will say I'm vegan, and they're not connecting whether or not the clothes that they're wearing or their handbag is also vegan too. And I do think that veganism is a process. We have our vegan standard, but veganism is a process in terms of people and who's a vegan heart. There's a lot of people that have a vegan heart that haven't actually made the connection to the food on their plate. that means they're a compassionate, ethical person, and they're on the path, and they can get there with the right information, and they're open to receive. So once they're open to receive and they make the connection to the food on their plate, it still might be a while before they realize when they go and buy their next car or they buy their next handbag that they shouldn't buy something with leather. It's an evolution. People don't always realize it. So I think it's important that brands like yours and that like you have on the show and that B-Veg, we're out there and we're helping make the connection for people in a positive way, in a cool way, in a hip way, where it's not a compromise. And you get to wear beautiful clothes and you get to have a beautiful car, or you get to have great furniture, or you get to taste delicious food. And it's vegan and nobody died and it's delicious and it's better for you and it's better for the planet. So there's so much positive that can come with a vegan lifestyle. But to me, veganism is an ethical movement, and a vegan standard is an evolving standard. It's like an organism that is breathing, and the standard can always get more strict as time goes on to meet the world where the world is at. But it's very important to have standards in place and accountability in place to hold a vegan claim accountable to a singular standard that is globally recognized. So it's not all over the place. It's important that, your claim means something, our certification mark means something, your word means something, whether it's politics, relationships, labeling laws. We all want consumer transparency. We all want to know that we're receiving honest information. And we live in the age of information where access to information and the ability to have instant information is an expected standard. So that's what we're here to do, and further through laws and regulations, etc.
Yeah, and actually, I really feel like we need to redefine veganism, because this word many people don't really know. Should we focus just on animal? Does vegan means everything? And from what I believe with F.A.K.E, we believe that veganism means compassionate lifestyle, that it's for the entire animal kingdom. So as well humans, that's why we try to bring as much intersectionality in the movement as possible. And I know you do as well. You do many events for Black Lives Matter movement, for example. That's the last one I saw.
Yeah, because it's a compassionate movement. I think that veganism is, you're a compassionate person. You're an empathetic person. That's why I say many people are vegan heart, but the food on their plate might not be vegan yet. They might be veg curious. They might think, oh, I should be plant-based. This is a better lifestyle for me. But they haven't actually, they haven't gotten there yet because they haven't really fully had to make the connection. But it's so important to realize that veganism is an ethical movement. It's a compassionate movement. So whether it's for the animals or Black Lives Matter or whatever the social injustice is, someone that stands against social injustice, that stands against speciesism, that stands against racism is vegan of heart. It's just a process of how it's like being religious. And how religious are you? Like there's different sects of Judaism, right? There's the Reform, the Conservative, the Orthodox. Same thing with Catholicism. How much are you into your practice? People can identify with Judaism and not practice it at all. People could identify with veganism and really not practice it at all. But once they make the connection, they will.
Yeah, that's very well said. And so, so from your experience, I think it's important as well, so people realize that you not just create B-Veg because it's the trend to be vegan. You're really vegan from birth. And how, you were vegan, but when did you realize what veganism really means? And you want to not just be vegan, but be an activist and do something about it.
So I was born vegan and raised vegan. My mom had a vegan pregnancy, but when my parents got divorced when I was about 5 years old, my dad was not vegan. So I had to split my time between my mom and dad. So my mom raised me vegan for health reasons. She felt it was healthier. But when I was 5 and I had visitation back and forth, she said to me, you're going to go to your dad's house. He's going to feed you X, Y, and Z. You do what you want. I can't control you, but this is what it is. And I remember the conversation. I remember the day. I made an ethical decision, a moral decision that day that I was going to take no part in the eating of animals. So I became an ethical vegan when I was about 5 years old. Even though I was raised vegan and born vegan into the lifestyle, I was lucky enough to be given the choice and the option. Whereas a lot of people are not given that choice. They're born into the culture of whatever culture they live in this world on planet Earth. And all of those cultures seem to have a meat-based diet, a lot of them, most of them. And so I made the decision when I was very, very, very young. And I was very much aware that I was being made fun of and that it wasn't a popular decision. But I do believe, in my heart, it was a decision that I was always going to stick to. I don't think I was ever an activist. I think I was more of a subtlist. I wanted to have my own decisions. I wanted to be left alone to eat the food I ate. I was tired of people picking on me saying, "Ew, what's that?" And I'd have to say, "Oh, it's a tofu sandwich my mom made." And they'd be like, "Ew, what's tofu?" So tofu right now is a lot more well-known and mainstream. And so are all the non-dairy options, but all those options existed when I grew up as well. I remember the ice cream we ate was rice stream. I remember the tofuti cutie sandwiches. I mean, all that stuff existed. It's more known now. And so to answer your question, veganism is here to stay. It's here to stay. I don't know if I guess I don't even think I'm an activist now so much as I'm owning my truth, and I'm more confident and able to talk about it because I was so used to being made fun of that I was a closet case vegan. And now I get to say, you know what, this is what I am. This is how I was raised. I now have a business. I believe in this. This is my truth. And I think when we own our truth, we're most powerful in our message when our message is aligned with our truth, because then you have nothing to sell. You're just being real and authentic. And whatever you are in this world, if you're vegan, and that's your truth, you should, be you. Who are you? Be you. And being human is an evolution. So I think whatever your truth is, for me, it's veganism. For the audience here, most people are vegan. And there's a whole audience of people that are not quite vegan yet that really could be if they just dug deep within themselves and aligned with their truth and made the connection and dismissed any of that cognitive dissonance that we are trained to dismiss in order to continue to have the violence on our plate, or the violence in our fashion industry, or the violence in our furniture industry, or when you buy a car, etc. It is so ingrained in our culture, and it doesn't need to be. So it's wonderful that brands are now popping up literally around the world to change the direction of our factories and our facilities and our co-packing plants and our manufacturing houses and how clothes are made in fashion. There's so much to do, and it's just going to snowball. So this is not a trend. This is here to stay. And this is something that anyone who's investing in should invest in, because this is where we're going.
Exactly.
That I believe in.
Yeah, I always say this is not a trend, it's a revolution, and you should be a part of it. You want to be a leader, not a follower. So you need to be a part of this movement. That's actually what we did with F.A.K.E when we created the movement. We call it a movement because, like you say, the goal is way bigger than ego or money. So we all help each other to, when there's a new material that is coming up, we all help each other. We all give tips. Oh, you should use this type of vegan leather because it's more sustainable. You should use this. So yeah, we all help each other. That's why we're gonna grow and get strong.
Yes.
So what would you say to people who, let's say, they just became vegan, and because nowadays it's so easy now to be vegan, and you have the experience of living in a world when there's literally almost no vegan. So what would you say for those people who say, oh, it's too difficult, people make fun of me? Like, how would you inspire them to keep on doing it?
Well, they will be inspired to keep on doing it when they make the decision themselves that this is the only way to go. So for me, because I was raised vegan in a world when things really weren't vegan, it was not hard for me, because if I were at a restaurant, for example, my eyes went to the place on the menu of what I could eat. I swear I didn't even see the other stuff. It just wasn't an option. I blocked it out. So I think someone who's trying or veg curious, they're going to give into temptation. They're going to see the menu. They're going to remember what something tasted like or smelled like, and they might crave it. So it could be harder to give it up than it is for me that was born into it. But I do encourage people to try the other options and to be part of the demand, because the movement is happening, and these restaurants and these shops that are carrying fashion, ask for the vegan options, because they are now carrying things they did not carry 30 years ago when I went out to eat, such as the Beyond Meat, the Impossible Burgers, the other plant-based protein alternatives, the tofu. I mean, these restaurants are starting to carry it. And when they carry it, they cannot keep it in stock because people love it. They want it. There's a demand for it. So I think number one is for us to create the demand and continue to create the demand. So there's accessibility, because the more it's accessible, the easier it's going to be to turn into a plant-based world. And in order for our planet to survive, we must be a plant-based world. Now, what it's going to take to get somebody to make that decision and stick to it, it's going to depend on them. Some people become vegan because of the environment, so they may stick to the decisions, seeing the Amazon deforestation, worrying about our planet, our future, the future of our children and their children's children. So they may choose to be vegan for environmental reasons, and they may stick to it. Other people may be forced to become vegan for health reasons. Other people might choose to become vegan for health reasons because they realize that it's a healthier lifestyle. Other people might choose to become vegan because they actually feel an empathy and compassion for the animals. And then there's the whole spiritual component of things. Many people who are spiritual and on a path of meditation and yoga and compassion and loving kindness towards the world and others, they may not be vegan, but once they realize and make the connection that they are on this path of meditation and yoga and compassionate living, they may realize, you know what, I need a vegan lifestyle is my lifestyle. I'm also going to turn plant-based. So it's going to have to come from within for it to stick. I mean, how often do we hear of relationships of people getting together with someone who's a non-vegan, they turn vegan for the relationship, then they get out of the relationship, they're no longer vegan. So whatever the reason is, it's really important that the decision is based on conviction because of something you believe in within you, which goes back to what I said earlier about owning your truth. Find your truth, find it inside of you, and then own it.
Really well said.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried any animal product?
Have I ever tried an animal product of food? No. But that's, what I was saying earlier, like there's different evolutions of this vegan phase. I would say I was always vegan in part because I was raised vegan. And when I had to make the decision of food on my plate, I immediately chose to have no part in that. Now, growing up, that does not mean that I made the connection to the shoes or the handbags that I wore until much later. Okay. And I think you justify it to yourself in that, well, there's enough leather out there, but it's a byproduct of the meat industry. They're not killing animals for the leather. It's so easy to just block it out. And fashion is something that is so mainstream that it really is. It's important that people like yourself and that the big brands also that are like the high-end luxury brands are starting to get into the no fur and the vegan options within their already animal product options, because it's raising the awareness and the consciousness. I mean, it's not until you see vegan brands and vegan fashion labeled as vegan that you realize, wait a minute, it might not be vegan. It's like people eating the food on their plate. They just aren't thinking about it. So I've never consumed meat. I was raised not eating dairy. I've never eaten meat, but have I had worn, something with leather in the past. I won't buy it now, but it's part of an evolution, I think, for people to wake up. It's part of being awake. And it's part of saying, I see the whole picture. And that's when you see the whole picture, I think that's when you're in alignment with the spiritual side of veganism and the choice to be an ethical vegan, because you understand the alignment of the planet, the environment, the health, the animals, and the spirituality and the interconnectedness of it all. And then you have to struggle with the other things like, okay, so you won't buy it anymore, but you have it in your closet. What do you do with it?
No.
You don't want to wear it because you don't want to promote it. You don't really want to throw it away because that's wasteful. So you're sitting there looking at it.
Yeah, there's many solutions, but it's a huge debate. If we start now, we will talk about it till tomorrow. But yeah, there's many ways you can donate as well. It's a way to keep on being compassionate. But when the product is here already, it's more difficult. Yeah.
But I think it's all about raising the consciousness and the awareness. So once you raise consciousness, whether it's a menu at a restaurant, and you start realizing that you have all these options that are more ethical and compassionate, and you start choosing them, it snowballs. You'll start choosing more compassionate options. And same thing with fashion, same thing with makeup, anything. I would say it's really a process. And once you start being conscious, you can't not be conscious. But it's very easy to turn it off and say, that's not convenient to think about. I don't want to think about that right now. But once you wake up and you start being conscious, you cannot not be conscious anymore, because you're conscious. You woke up, you get it. So then you're going to start making more and more and more connections. So the key is to allow yourself to make the connections, allow yourself to do the discovery, and allow yourself to evolve into a better, more enlightened being, because you realize, and it doesn't mean you were less enlightened before, it just means you were less awake. You were less willing to allow the light in. But it doesn't mean you were less ethical before, because the reality is these unethical products are at our disposal way too easily. And it's not your fault. But what is your fault is once you wake up, if you're going to then go spend your dollars on the products that are unethical, then you're voting for the unethical options. So get certified vegan by VVeg, because we track the entire assembly line, the supply chain. We keep everyone honest. And that also is a domino effect, because not only is it the main brand that you want vegan, you want the supply chain trace to be vegan. Because if the main brand wants to market vegan and one of their suppliers is not vegan, then that main brand is going to switch out that supplier. What does that mean? It means that supplier just lost a main account and a main buyer. So that supplier lost money, and it comes down to follow the money in the bottom line. So if the supplier loses money, they're going to switch their practices to consider being vegan, because they're going to want to be able to sell to parent brands who want to market vegan. So it is very important to look for certified vegan by VVeg products, because
that's
really do keep the supply chain accountable.
Yeah, have you ever find any vegan, people say that it's vegan, vegan products that it's actually not vegan?
Yeah, that happens all the time. That's why I'm saying it's so important to look for vegan claims that are certified, verified, accredited. And right now, we're the only organization that does that, that is accredited under the ISO international standards. But you absolutely want to see a verified vegan claim, because those that are making the brands have all the right intentions, but they're not researching the supply chain, and it's not their job to research the supply chain and keep the suppliers accountable. And consumers want trust in a brand, right? So trust in a brand comes from certifications, just like there are certifications for, like I went to law school, and I passed the bar in New York, Florida, and DC. Those are badges of approval on my resume. That's credibility for me when I go to court. So it's the same thing with brand awareness. When you, I guess it's slow to load there. When you buy a product, you want to know whether it's ethical, it's sustainable, it's vegan, it's plant-based. You want to know it's safe, that there's vegan quality assurance. And the statistics say that whether you're vegan or not, 80% of consumers, all things being equal, if they have two brands in front of them where all things are equal, one of them has an ethical mark or vegan label that's certified and the other one does not, they will choose the vegan label.
So
that's our veg alcohol program. We have 2 trademarks globally. It's not really relevant to fashion, but we have 2 trademarks that are global. And go up to the top. That's Christy Brinkley. Let's see if it's loading. It's not loading at the top, huh?
Wait, let me refresh the page. I think it's my Wi-Fi was a little.
That's our logo there. That's loading, but there it is. So, that's the vegan product global trademark there. The black and white one. It's ISO accredited, and.
So if a brand wants to be certified, just come here, click on apply for certification.
Yeah, right. And you can contact us for special pricing. It's, there's an audit fee, there's a certification fee. As I said, if you mention F.A.K.E, we'll give you a discount on the audit fee. But there's different layers of certification as well. It's whether or not you're a brand owner, whether or not you're a private label, whether or not you're a co-packer, a manufacturing facility. All of that matters in how the entire process of testing and analysis and audits are carried out to ensure that it's reliable, dependable, honest, and transparent for the consumer.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of information, so everybody should go check it out. And you're here.
Yes, that's me.
Okay, so thank you so much.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Any words before we end this live? Anything to inspire people? If you want to share, you do so many things. You were talking about the spiritual aspect of veganism. Last week, I saw one of your show, and I loved it. Actually, it was about spirituality and veganism. So, if someone wants to watch one of these shows, like where they can find you.
So that show's on Jane Unchained News Network. It's called The Laws That Matter. I'm one of the resident contributors, legal analyst, and I'm her anchor for that show. And so I'm a lawyer, and I have done a lot with my legal career. As a prosecutor, I passed the bar, like I said, New York, Florida, DC, went to law school at Berkeley, worked at a top law firm doing securities litigation, Greenberg Traurig. It's a top 5 global firm before I started my own firm about 8 years ago. So I am a serious lawyer. I've done a lot of television, legal expert on Nancy Grace, Dr. Drew, Fox, CNN, the networks. But I shifted when I realized, enough of this working within the law that I was trained to practice, that human law is an intended version of these higher laws. And to me, veganism needs to be an area of law, hence B-Veg. And to me, the laws that matter are these spiritual laws. And spirituality is an entire reason to become vegan and plant-based. And I think it's an unexplored reason. We hear about the 3 pillars more than the 4th pillar. And the 3 pillars are the animals, the environment, and health. But spirituality is the main thing. So on that show, I try to bring on guests that are vegan, because it is a plant-based network. It's Jane Unchained News Network for the voiceless, so it's for the animals. But vegans who have brought spirituality and spiritual food for thought, so to speak, to their veganism and their teachings. So I really am using the show to teach the laws that matter, because that's the universal laws, the spiritual laws, and I think that that's also vegan law. And that's not to say that we don't cover real legal news, because we do. So wet markets, I filed a petition for rulemaking to try to shut them down in New York. My law firm did that on behalf of B-Veg. So we absolutely are covering regular legal news. So wet markets or slaughterhouse workers that are having their civil rights stripped of them, all that stuff is covered. But I really try to keep the show inspirational, because that's what we need. We need spiritual food for thought. We need to fill our souls with positive energy. And that means mental energy. That means positive thought. And that means good food. So it's all connected. And then we should wear, same thing, fashion that is fashionably friendly and no cruelty.
Exactly. And everybody always agreed that about the law of attraction, that when you spread positivity come to you. And I think it's the same with food and what you wear. And so, So
yes, it is. It's all energy. So, every piece of clothes you wear starts from a microscopic fabric. And every food starts from some microscopic DNA of something. Right. And that all affects our body and our own DNA. So It's all connected.
Thank you so much. So if someone wants to follow you, should they follow you, Carissa Kranz, B-Veg, Laws That Matter? What is
all of it.
All of it.
Okay. B-Veg is our social media handles are double V at BevVeg. So BEVVEG. That's our consistent social media handle across all platforms. It's the one we could get. We are bveg.com though, at Laws That Matter. You'll get some spiritual, inspirational food for thought there. And Carissa Kranz is my personal. So follow all of it. It's all related. Laws That Matter is related to Be Veg. And this is me owning my truth. So
thank you so much.
yes, thank you.
Yeah, and actually we are live as well on Jane and Shane, and in 10 minutes we will have Vanessa Marceau doing a live for lunch break live. So we were talking about how good it is for the spirituality, for your soul, for your body, vegan food. So in 10 minutes you can check it out, a new recipe, 100% vegan.
Yes, and Vanessa is certified vegan with Be Veg, her business.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Oh,
so
nice.
we came full circle.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we will be here next week with another guest. I forgot who, but yeah. See you next week. Bye.
Okay. See you soon. Bye.